So Izzy, I was wondering, what stocks are you looking at?
Okay, so the only thing I'm watching right now, and sorry, I'm so distracted. It's because my biggest position in my portfolio is TLRY, and this thing is just raging right now. So I try to make sure I get proper exits. So kind of crazy because I actually had my price target, I think, set to 45, and then it blasted right through that in pre-market. So my second target was 51. And now this thing just hit its, so I figured if it hits 51, it's probably going to fail there, come back down. And then maybe in like a few weeks after ACB earnings, once like, the marijuana stocks kind of sell off for a bit like they usually do, then it'll maybe test the $65 resistance on the monthly, but it looks like it tested that today. So I'm just going to show you guys what I'm seeing here so that you can see what it was that I was looking for on this TLRY chart. Yeah, it actually hit 67, I think, and 66.74 was the top level that I was looking at here. So you can see that. You look at 69.23 or 03 and notice how it hit just right below. I was thinking that maybe it would get stuck at that 64 range, close to that 65.20, but yeah, it just blasted right through that. And then if you pull up the weekly chart, then you can see the previous levels I was looking for.
Izzy, what do you press to make it go full screen like that?
I'm using TradingView in Benzinga, but I hate that you can't actually save pictures in there.
We're working on it.
I have to screenshot everything, so I have like 30,000 screenshots on my computer. That's probably why my computer crashes so much.
Hey, we're working on it, Izzy. Come on, go easy on us.
So this is what I was seeing here. So if you pull up the chart, there was a ton of resistance at this mark here around 43.86. It kind of stalled right in that gap yesterday. This is what I like calling like a channel. This was like a huge channel right here, but it just blasted right through it in the pre-market. So now I'm going to see if we can somehow crack over 69 on a retest. So I then pulled it back up and I was looking at the 15-minute chart and the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute, I was trying to see if it would retest that 69 to see if it could go any higher. And I actually have some screenshots here that I can share because I was looking at it earlier. You can see where it failed here, right? So this is a massive fail here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to maybe pull up my screenshots just so you guys can see what I was looking at.
Yeah, please do. And then I'm really curious, and I think others in chat might be as well. The platform, Eddie, is Benzinga Pro. She's using the charting tool in Benzinga Pro, which is powered by TradingView. Izzy, I'm interested when you see a failure.
Yeah.
If you can tell folks how you watch for support on that failure.
Okay.
How you find it and how you time your actions.
Unfortunately with TLRY, that's when my computer froze up and I was joining in at the stream when it failed support, but this is what I was looking at right before my computer froze. You can see on the 5-minute chart, first I was looking at the 15, so I kind of start with like the bigger time frames just to see the sell-off volume, and you can see how heavy it was there on that 15-minute time frame. And then I was watching to see if it could hold that 60.83 spot. And then as soon as it started to crack through that, so you can see when it cracked right above 60.83, now it's in the candle, right? So as soon as it started to go above 60.83, and then this spot over here around 61.44, that's when I reverted to a smaller time frame on the 5-minute chart just to see what's above that 60.84 level. And you can see that 61.97 was some real heavy resistance there. I think that's actually where it failed. Yeah, that's where it failed on that 5-minute. And then you can see again, it tried to test it and it failed again. But so just like how I use my strategy on the daily charts, if they gap open higher, then it looks bullish on my end. I use the same strategy on the 1-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute charts too. So the reason why I figured it was going to try testing 62 is because it had a gap open higher on that 5-minute chart. So notice how this candle closed lower and then this candle opened higher. So that's how I knew it was going to try testing the bottom wick here and the bottom of this candle and this candle here. So then I just kind of revert back and forth between time frames. So that's how you can tell if it's probably going to test lower and then switch up between the time frames that you're using. So right now on this candle, so we had a close of 57.50. And then this candle opened up at 57.59. So I could assume that it's probably going to try testing above this level here and then maybe test this wick here. And you can see how it kind of tested that spot right there and it failed.
And Izzy, so you're doing this all based on wicks, not the body, right?
Well, it also depends if I'm seeing a flag. So if I'm pulling up now the hourly chart, actually, this is a great example and it happens to be in real time. So if you're looking at this here on the hourly chart, that's a really nice tweezer bottom on that hourly. That's like almost a perfect tweezer bottom. And then as soon as it cracked over that tweezer, that's when it started to create those new highs in pre-market. As soon as it broke that 56 level, then it blasted off to 67. So I use a combination of things.
I'm clapping, Izzy, because you taught me what a tweezer bottom is. Can you zoom in on that and kind of show folks what exactly a tweezer bottom is and what it does?
Let me just clear all this stuff. So I'm using a combination of things. Volume. So look at the volume that cracked up right when that tweezer bottom happened, and then the open higher. So that's my second strategy. Tweezer bottom, open higher, volume, boom. It like blasted right off. So if you zoom right in here, you can see this is the tweezer bottom right here. So they're usually supposed to be pretty level. Usually the tweezer bottom has slightly higher highs on the green candle. That's because the momentum is trying to test higher. It wants to break higher. And then their lows are supposed to be pretty equal. So these lows are actually really equal. This close here was 50.95, and then this open here was 50.85. So super close in range. And then to kind of confirm that pattern, I usually always look at an open higher on the following candle. So same thing on the 1 hour time frames, 5-minute daily charts, whatever it is that I'm posting. I'm using that same sort of strategy here. So now because this thing opened higher on that 15-minute again, I'm going back and forth now between here to see if it can crack through this spot here and see how it's kind of just failing right there. Like it's trying to get there and it's not quite. And keep doing that back and forth until I see a failure. So a failure on a breakout would have to be some heavy sell volume on a larger time frame for me personally. And then because I feel like the 1 minute, 2 minute can psych you out sometimes, because I always look at the bigger picture, which is why I went out to a monthly and a weekly chart. So looking at the 30-minute, you see how it's kind of like consolidating here. It's trying to make these similar body candles, so it's holding that same support on that half-hour time frame. But the thing with these cannabis stocks is they're super volatile. So me personally, I like to lock in profits on these super volatile names. Maybe I was the sucker yesterday that locked in some at 44, but I just knew that that was some really heavy resistance, and with ACB reporting on Thursday, I figured it's probably safer to lock some in.
So I just want to point out, someone mentioned that Izzy, I'm in no way is this a denigration. Someone said she's talking so fast. Guys, Izzy is live trading her position that she's in right now.
Yeah, and
speed is the game.
Exit, so be thankful. I could have got that 67 exit. Okay, so you should be very happy right now. I'm even live. Come on.
I'm really glad you're here, and I'm really sorry about that computer failure.
No, it's okay. I actually talk fast naturally. Arabic is actually my first language, and Arabic's a very fast language. So when I speak in English, sometimes I talk really fast. That's another reason here. Plus, I only have 15 minutes, so I'm trying to get it all in.
And I guess something I'll add as well, guys. Tilray is a big, very volatile stock. Izzy has said this multiple times, so it's very important for her to switch between increments. She's mentioned this multiple times. She's going back and forth between 15-minute, 5-minute, day, everything, to see exactly what's going on so she can do this. And guys, if you want to see how she's doing this, if you want to see how you can play a trade like this and follow how Izzy does this, watch the recording afterwards and play it at like half speed. YouTube lets you do that. You can slow her down.
Sorry, I'll try talking a little slower.